Hello everyone, and welcome to Sage Cafe, where we talk about all things witchcraft. My name is Samantha, or as you might know me from social media, the Sage Witch. So grab a cup, take a seat, and let's get started. Today, we're going to be talking about Imbolc. Imbolc is a cross-quarter holiday nestled in between the winter solstice and the first day of spring. I have to say, while I love the feasts of Yule and roaring bonfires of midsummer, I really do appreciate the quiet contemplation that comes from this day. In our modern time, the importance of Imbolc could easily be lost on us. However, it was a very important time of year for our ancestors. Our ancestors didn't have refrigeration or grocery stores, and they relied on the animals they slaughtered in the autumn to get through the winter. Winter was a harsh time, and if not prepared, our ancestors could have easily starved or succumbed to the elements without proper shelter. We truly are fortunate to live in the time that we do, as most of our needs are met year-round. On Imbolc, I light a candle and thank my ancestors for their wit and resiliency. Another way I honor my ancestors is to make a meal of seasonal foods, as seasonal foods are all they had. Not only does this help us get in touch with the earth, but it also cuts down on food miles, or the time and distance food has to travel to get to you. Food miles are one factor used when testing the environmental impact on food. Seasonal foods such as root vegetables, hardy winter greens, and roasted meats are a few of my favorite things on this holiday. Did you preserve food in the fall? Now is a great time to put them to use. What's better than a hearty stew on a cold winter's day? Dairy products are also traditional Imbolc foods, as this is the time of year where livestock would start producing their first milk in preparation for their offspring to be born. My children and I usually leave a mug of fairy milk, or warm milk with vanilla, cinnamon, and lavender in the garden for the fae. On the night before Imbolc, I usually go out and I lay my Bridget's cloak across my rather large sage plants, and I leave it out overnight. As the folklore goes, the goddess Bridget flies over the land, blessing and preparing it for the new life that will come in the spring. The next morning, I will go out a little before sunrise and collect any dew that has accumulated overnight. This dew can be used as an anointing blessing for you and your home. And don't worry, if it's a rainy, stormy night, you don't have to lay a cloak or anything out for that matter. A very important part of witchcraft is doing what feels right to you. One of my family's favorite traditions is to light candles, then turn on all the lights in the house while yelling, "Return the light! Return the light!" hoping to magically bolster the new life returning to the earth. I will say, I think this is the tradition my children loved the most. On Imbolc, we are still in the tide of consolidation, or the time of year where we rid ourselves of things we no longer need. This process began back at the beginning of winter, and will continue until the first day of spring. By this time, though, we are preparing to wrap up loose ends and begin making plans for the upcoming tide of activation. Some things you can do to help this process along are to go through your clothes, books, or even clean and organize your pantry. You can also take a moment to consider your thoughts and emotions. Are you hanging on to old thoughts or habits? Now is a good time to do any banishing spell work to help you let go of those things, especially since we are working our way to a new moon. I am especially happy for Imbolc this year, as it brings me that much closer to spending warm days and nights in my garden again. Hopefully, this year, we can enjoy a good fire and company as well. Though I usually enjoy winter, this one has been particularly hard with all the necessary social restrictions in place. That being said, I'm also thankful to be blessed with a little extra time for quiet contemplation and self-care. As the wise old Gandalf once said, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. Thank you for coming by today, and I hope you have a wonderful Imbolc.